Hi, everybody. It's me, Jennifer DeRocher, your favorite realtor. Today, I wanted to share with you 3 tips to making your transactions a little bit smoother. So, if you are a buyer, particularly if you are a first time buyer, I've put together 3 easy steps that will go a long way toward making your experience in real estate a smooth and successful one. Tip number 1, understand what you need out of your financing. That might sound like a no-brainer, but believe it or not, every loan is a little bit different depending on what your goals are. So do not assume that your real estate specialist, whether it's me or anybody else, can look at your pre-approval and understand your end game. And so what I mean by that is if you are looking at a conventional loan with a certain percentage down, or if you are looking at an FHA loan with only the standard 3.5% down, and you're not thinking about the closing costs that will be on top of that 3.5%, you need to talk with your lender before ever submitting an offer and find out, are you able to ask for down payment assistance? Are there grant programs available to you for that? Are we looking to get seller concessions? Are we looking to ask the sellers for money to go toward your closing costs as a part of our negotiations? Those are not things that we can typically arrange for you after the home is under contract. So you really want to know exactly what you're eligible for, and you really want to know going in exactly what we're asking for, because an offer asking for concessions from your seller is not going to look the same as an offer where we don't need anything from the seller. We can be a little bit more aggressive in our negotiating versus if we need something back from a seller, it's not that we can't be aggressive, but we have to go about it in a different way. Be aggressive using other terms of the contract. Luckily, I understand contracts. I've taken some training on that. And so I know how to protect you and strengthen offers using different aspects other than just price. So don't worry about that. But you've got to know, because if you don't know, you don't know. And it's I hate to say it this way, but lending is not my job. My job is to understand the real estate market, right? And to understand how to use the contract to protect my customers. But lending is a whole other specialty. And while good realtors do understand the general ins and outs and how to point you in the right direction, your best bet is always to go over those terms in detail with your lender. So if you have questions about that, please make sure that you send a message or give me a call and we can talk a little bit more about that. Step number 2, be open about your end game. If you fall in love with a home and it's just right, except your heart's going to be broken if you don't have a pool, then share that with us. Tell us what your absolutes are. If you're saying, I really cannot spend $1 more than this amount of money, but then you're asking to see all of these stunning pool homes that are, $20,000 higher. A good realtor is not going to be teasing you with properties that you cannot afford. So you're not going to get what you're looking for. If you've got sort of a secret actual budget, we're not used car salesmen. So we're not going to force you to spend above your means. But if you do have another budget in mind, and that's where your wish list houses are, and those might actually be attainable to you, tell us that. Don't be afraid to share with me what your true bottom line is, because at the end of the day, I want to find you exactly what you're looking for. So if I'm trying to force you to compromise to fit into a budget that really isn't locking you in, then I'm not going to be able to make you happy. So be clear and honest. Don't be distrustful of your realtor, because a good realtor is not going to screw you. It's just true. You got to build that trust so you can share with us. And my last tip for you is, and this is a hard one, so buckle up, sit down and get ready for this. Do not fall in love with the home until after you get your appraisal. Let me explain. anything can happen between writing the offer and getting loan commitment. And there are several steps between here and here. So you write that offer, that's fine. I'm so happy that you found a house that you love, but you still have to get through the home inspection. And if it's not a new construction, no matter how good the condition is, we just don't know what we're going to find. We can probably work something out between home warranties and renegotiations, but hold tight. And then after the home inspection is over, we're still waiting on the bank to finalize their financing. And typically, if you are confident in your pre-approval, then the one thing that we cannot control is the appraisal. So my best advice to you is make sure that your realtor, I always do this, reaches out to your lender and works with them every step of the way. Encourage that appraisal to be ordered lickety-split at the very beginning so that we're not waiting for it at the tail end of the transaction, and that if there is a problem with the appraisal value versus the contract price, you have enough time to renegotiate and come to some other terms. But worst case scenario, if that appraisal just cannot meet in the middle, if you just come in too low and the seller doesn't come down, you might have to walk away from that house. So that is my third tip for you, is sort of just hold your breath and cross your fingers. And then once you get loan commitment from your lender, that's when you give notice to your landlord. That's when you start buying new furniture and curtains and towels and decorating and all of that. But there are things that I can't control for you as much as I wish that I could, and that's one of them. So those are my tips and tricks. Be clear about your lending terms, ask lots of questions to your lender, and don't assume your realtor can have insight into those conversations, because those are different aspects of a real estate transaction. Number 2 was be very clear about your needs, wants, and budget, because we are not you salesmen or mind readers. We are professionals that are looking to do a job for you, and you've got to give us your true information if you want us to do a good job. Otherwise, you're just going to be dissatisfied, and we don't want that. And my last tip or trick, don't fall in love until you get that appraisal back. I hope these are helpful tips to you. If you have questions, if you would like to go on a property tour, or if you have a home that you are interested in selling and you want to hear about my marketing plan, just send a message or give me a call and I will be here. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.